According to new research released by the Nature Conservancy, more than 80% of New Yorkers of both political parties believe climate change is happening now and will harm them and their families on a personal level. So, whether you are a red household or a blue household, you are apparently united statewide in your concerns. Question: is Governor Cuomo's 2019 proposal to make New York State 100% reliant on clean energy by 2040 realistic, feasible, a part of the solution? Well, as a part of our ongoing Peril and Promise multi-platform reporting initiative that explores the human impact of climate change, we're here to take a closer look at the research, the governor's plan, and how it may help residents of the Empire State. Joining us with expert insight is our good friend, the New York Executive Director of the Nature Conservancy, Bill Ulfelder. Bill, always nice to have you here with us.
Thanks, Jack. It's good to be here. Lots of important and good news.
Yeah. It's nice when we can start and when we have a conversation about climate change and can weave in some good news.
Exactly. And this is good news.
Let me start with the research. Were there things that surprised you?
There were a couple of things. I mean, one, as you said in the open, more than 80%. I mean, it is a huge number. And you talked about both, red and blue, but it's urban, it's suburban, it's rural, it's wealthy, middle class, and low income. It's all ethnicities. It really is. The debate is over in New York. Climate change is real and people get it. And I think the other thing that surprised me was just how willing New Yorkers are to help pay for the solutions. And that was pretty impressive to see, like how many resources we can generate. And lastly, the recognition that transportation is a huge piece of this, and we've got to solve transportation.
I don't know that there are too many times that we can say in this era that you get 80% of people agreeing about anything
right
here.
Yeah.
And tack on to that, people saying, not only do I agree with it, but I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
Right. So when looking again at the research, we talked about transportation and also climate. Let's talk about first about the notion of a proposed carbon fee.
Right.
Explain what that is real quick for people, and tell us what the results of the research were.
Right. So the general research was this incredible awareness, and then we asked folks, registered voters, how much would you be willing to pay? And per household, it was something like $10 to $20 a month that New Yorkers are willing to pay, which would generate somewhere between $1 to $2 billion a year towards this. And so the way you could do this is you could levy a carbon fee on the companies that are coal-related, oil-related, gas-related. Now, they're probably going to pass those costs on to us, but what the research is telling us is, hey, we, New Yorkers, are ready to cover those costs if the funds are going into something like a clean transportation fund that's going to be solving.
So if we're certain that our money is going there and it's not going to end up for a sports stadium someplace.
Right. People want to see the money that they're putting towards this as solving the problem. So what happens is, so when you have a fee, the first thing you're getting is a reduction in the consumption. Essentially, the fee is dampening consumption. But then the fee is going to things like, how do we promote infrastructure that supports electric vehicles? How do we create more fueling stations for electric vehicles across the state? How do we modernize our transportation infrastructure? So people are saying, I'm willing to pay if I know it's going towards the solution and we're preparing for a future that is carbon-free.
What are some of the other areas that you've found your research disclosed to you that New Yorkers are willing to say, yes, let's do this?
Well, I think one of the things that was really interesting is, at this point, because of the amount of success we've had around building efficiency and other fuel sources, the number one producer of carbon pollution is transportation. And it seems like New Yorkers get that. So a third of carbon emissions, carbon pollution in New York, is generated by vehicles, trucks, cars now. And that's actually true of the nation, too. And New Yorkers, I think, get that and recognize that this is a piece of the puzzle that New York hasn't been looking at enough. So things like, I mean, a good example here in New York City would be congestion pricing. What are those mechanisms that we can get cars off the road, generate resources, and in the case of congestion pricing, we're talking about solving the public transportation system. We're talking about trains and buses and the things that we depend on here in New York City all the time.
That's been a funny area, the congestion pricing, because we've seen political figures say no and then turn around and say yes. We've seen members of the public say no and turn around and say yes. We've seen members of the public say no and continue to say no. And when I talk to people about it, it seems to me that one of the things that drives this vacillation is the idea, going back to what we said before, can we be certain where the money is going to go and that it will in fact help people?
I think at this point, the public transportation crisis is so big and bad in New York. The idea is over 10 years, through congestion pricing, we would generate $15 billion towards solving the public transportation problem. Now, how exactly that plays and all the details, those absolutely need to be worked out. But it is focused on directing the resources towards public transportation. I imagine a New York of 2050 in a lot of ways is going to be very different.
Hey, Bill, it's always good to talk to you. And it's nice to know that, we said at the very beginning, there's some good news, and that is that a lot of people are taking a look at this and saying, we need to do something about it. So hopefully, and we'll get you back and we'll talk a little bit more about exactly what's going to be done.
Thanks, Jack.
Always good to see you.
Thanks.